Welcome on into the AZ Wildcats post-game show. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. As the Arizona Wildcats win potentially the game of the season in college basketball, and this is officially March. Man, that was special. Number 2 team in the country going to the Big 12 championship game, taking down the Iowa State Cyclones in their own house, mind you, Kevin Thomas. I am Damon Fairall. He is Kevin Thomas. We are the AZ Wildcats podcast. And of course, we are presented by our post-game presenting sponsor of Branded Bills. Head on over to brandedbills.com and use promo code BBPHNX to get 15% off of the best Arizona Wildcats headwear in the game. Again, at brandedbills.com. You see me rocking some Branded Bills right here on this very set. Man. It's hard to even start off in a spot. It's hard to even talk about a game when it's as cinema, absolute Kharchenkov as what we just witnessed, Kevin Thomas. But I guess we just got to start with the shot. Jaden Bradley didn't have the greatest game in the world, but he shows everybody why he's the Big 12 Conference Player of the Season.
I mean, what else do you want from the closer, Jaden Bradley, other than to close out Iowa State with a buzzer beater? And I'll just say this, somewhere Caleb Love is smiling very, very, from ear to ear, very wide, because one thing they both have in common now is an unbelievable, unthinkable buzzer beater to pretty much ice Iowa State. In this case, it was to win the game. In Caleb Love's case, it was to force overtime and then win the game. But, man, what a performance. I said it on Twitter. We say it in the thumbnail. That's an instant classic that we just witnessed. That is a game that will, when they do their, end of the year, what was game of the year? All that stuff, this will be on the ballot. Arizona versus Iowa State in the semifinals of the Big 12 tournament. This is why you join the Big 12. You don't want, it's fun when you just cakewalk to the Pac-12 tournament championship every year, but this is what you want. You want to be battle-tested. This is a Final Four quality game. That term gets thrown around a lot throughout the course of the college basketball season, Damon, but this was a Final Four quality game against a top 10 opponent with their best player going nuclear in many ways in Milan Momcilovic, who is an immense shooter, one of the best shooters in college basketball, maybe ever. Right? The way that he plays the game, career high for him. And Arizona still stomps out that flame and does what they do best and win basketball games under Tommy Lloyd. That is 11-2 now. Count them, 11-2 in conference tournament games under Tommy Lloyd. And man, I'm going to be thinking about that shot from Jaden Bradley probably until I'm on my deathbed. And as an old man, I hope, because that was unbelievable. And it's the reason you love this sport, man. This is March, people.
Full disclosure, Kevin and I were maybe about 15 to 10 seconds delayed in the game, and every single other soul in the office that was here knew what happened before your boys did, and they were awaiting on an absolutely insane response, and I think they got it, Kevin, because we were going crazy. I'm sure everybody at home was going nuts as well, and no one more happy than my co-host here, because I'm going to take everybody back to the pregame show for a second. My man's called out Milan Momcilovic specifically by name. It was like, you don't have what it takes, brother, to take down the Arizona Wildcats, to which Momcilovic clearly took that personally, Kevin, because he almost single-handedly did so.
I'm just happy he was watching our pregame show, brother. Hey, we got a nice
extra view. That's an extra view and places. A W for the Cats, baby.
100%. Thank you, Milan. But no, in all seriousness, we talked about it on the pregame for the first Arizona-Iowa State matchup, right? That if you're going to beat Iowa State handedly, you got to keep Milan from shooting 6 or more attempts. In this game, look, that man was unconscious, making everything one-legged, leaning to the left to beat the buzzer at the half, fading away, leaning right. It didn't matter for Milan. Even Ivan Kharchenkov couldn't slow that guy down. So, immense performance from him. But we got to talk more about that shot, Damon, dog, because Jaden Bradley, keep his name out your mouth. Genuinely. He is Big 12 Player of the Year. Damon and I have talked about it ad nauseum on this podcast. Your ballot might have looked different. Maybe you didn't pick him for Big 12 Player of the Year, but you at least got to see the logic as to how he won the award. Leading. He is the leader on this Arizona team. I don't care if he's the statistical leader in anything, right? He is the leader of this team, and that is why he won Big 12 Player of the Year. Because the coaches in the Big 12, they know he's capable of that every night, right? He might not have 1,000 points. He might not have 1,000 assists and 1,000 points double-double. But when the game is on the line, he's going to bring you home. And that's exactly what he did. He got Arizona into the finals of the Big 12 tournament. Damon, everybody in this chat, and if you're new to this chat, welcome, subscribe, like this video. That's Damon. I'm Kevin. We love the Arizona Wildcats. But we also love creating fun merch. And we did this during football season, Damon. We had our red line turnover sword tee locked and loaded for football season. And did you guys...
at the perfect time, too, right before, or right after, I should say, the Territorial Cup, right before the Holiday Bowl. And I'd argue that this is the perfect timing as well, right before we get into the NCAA tournament, getting some new merch loaded up on the AZ Wildcats podcast. And we got some fire merch. I'm a big fan, Kevin, of the headband Wildcat hat or T-shirt we got in the left side there, the pod logo with the basketball cutout version of it. Unbelievable stuff from our ALLCITY folks making our T-shirts. Embrace the chaos there on the right, started by one Saul Bookman. We run things state outline as well. Fire stuff going up on the website.
Fire stuff. I'm going to put that link right now in the chat for everybody that wants to cop some of the latest AZ Wildcats pod merch and support your Arizona Wildcats when you're out and about rocking in the world. But Damon, let's get back to this game. The merch link is in the chat.
Yeah,
Make sure to check that out.
I think this is where, Kevin, I say, how was I going to work in BYU fans in the first 10 minutes of this podcast? And no better place than with the Jaden Bradley shot, right? Because, he is the conference player of the year. And as you're saying, Kevin, it's crazy the amount of hate and the level of discourse that was being thrown at one Jaden Bradley, who was the, leader in all facets for this Arizona basketball team that absolutely dominated this season. Straight through the Big 12, now in the Big 12 tournament championship. That guy is at every step of the way the closer, as David Rosen says in here, and just the one that everyone on the team looks to, I think, in these tough moments. There's no question, in my opinion, despite the game that Anthony Dell'Orso is having, despite, Tobe Awaka and his dominance that he's showing at times down low, pinning people under the basket, Jaden Bradley was taking that shot. And that's why he's the conference player of the season. One of the greatest moments in Arizona basketball history that we just witnessed in real time.
I mean, you said it, not me, but we got to check in with Brian Edwards about this, our resident historian of the program. Brian, where does this fall for you, chat? Where does this fall for you? Not just Brian, everybody in this chat, all of our favorite Arizona Wildcat fans. Where does this fall for you? Now, in my opinion, I said it earlier, I'll be thinking about this shot for a very, very long time. And we are going to have Saul Bookman joining us live from, I believe, his office to help us break this one down in a little bit. But you have never have gotten to that shot, Damon, if not for one Anthony Dell'Orso. We cannot get double-digit minutes into this podcast without mentioning our favorite Australian hooper of all time, Delly, who had not only a career night, he had a legacy game tonight. Anthony Dell'Orso, absolutely take a bow. He is the reason Arizona was in this game for long stretches. I believe, my opinion, him and Tobe Awaka were what was really keeping you in this game for long stretches. But ADO's shooting in this game, unbelievable. 26 points, 10 of 14 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3. You talk about Milan Momcilovic. ADO was going band for band with the deep shots all game. And he was making them, right? He's 6 for 9 from behind the arc. 5 rebounds chipped in as well for ADO, and I will also add some really strong defense on top of the offense that he was putting out there. Legacy game, Damon, from ADO.
Our special Australian prince, Kevin. It really unbelievable. I think going from Anthony Dell'Orso being, in some ways kind of highlighted as the liability on last year's team. We were doing watch-alongs in the tournament of last year's NCAA tournament and doing an Anthony Dell'Orso minutes tracker because we were curious as to how much he really is even going to play against a team like, Duke. Can he stay on the court against a Duke? Now he's leading the line in a Big 12 semifinal game in the toughest conference in college basketball. I tweeted it during the game, Kevin. If you think that this is not the best conference in college basketball, your ball knowledge card, we're taking it. We're revoking it. We're snatching it. I don't want to hear about the Big Ten. I don't want to hear about the SEC. And I damn sure don't want to hear about the ACC, right? Get out of my face with that. What we just witnessed between Iowa State and Arizona, that is the pinnacle of college basketball. And it happens almost nightly in this conference when you look at the teams, not even Arizona, not even Iowa State, but Houston and Texas Tech and even BYU to a lesser extent. Like, there is great games going on constantly. And it's special to be a part of this conference. As you said, it's so much better than being in the Pac-12 and feeling like, man, it's going to be us versus UCLA. The conference tournament would have started in the next game for Arizona if we were still in the Pac-12. And, I wouldn't say the UCF game was the most difficult of games. There were times where it got a little bit testy, but the fact that, you're from this moment, like feeling like, man, this is a Final Four caliber game and it's the Final Four of the conference, that's special output from one particular conference. And yeah, man, I mean, this is, I know I just said it, one of the best moments in Arizona basketball history. Two of the moments that you would highlight over the last 2 years, buzzer beaters against Iowa State. We're really going to make some enemies in Cyclones Nation everywhere, Kevin, if we continue to beat them on buzzer beaters left and right.
I mean, we're going to be traumatizing these poor folks in the Midwest, man. They're very nice people out there.
I keep saying how nice they are, but I think there's a chance we break them, no? And like that, and I would completely understand it at that point. Like, it would make total sense to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is a hell of a team over there, and to be as good as they are, and to get that close to beating Arizona, it must hurt, especially because they got performances from the guys that they needed to get performances from in this game, right? Like, you talk about Milan Momcilovic, but let's not leave out All-American candidate Jefferson, who, in my opinion, for my money, is one of the better players in this NBA draft class in terms of being a first-round talent. I'm not saying he needs to go crazy into the top 20s in the lottery, but I think he's a top 30 prospect, and he put up 21, 3 of 7 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and now he did have 3 steals and a block as well. We talked about, last time out, Arizona was able to neutralize Joshua Jefferson and Milan Momcilovic, and we talked about how is Arizona going to be able to do that twice. Clearly, they were unable to do it twice because they combined for 49 points, but Arizona comes out with the dub, and in part, it's because of just unbelievable stick-to-itiveness with Arizona. Like, this team is, Tommy Lloyd talks about it with being built for it, right? Like, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of all this game with Saul in a little bit, but just the big picture stuff, you got to stick with it in these games. You hear Tommy Lloyd say that all the time. This is a stick-with-it kind of conference where you're going to get punches from some of the best teams that this sport has to offer. What are you going to do with those punches? Arizona never went away. This game started out 14-2, Damon, and then people on Twitter melting down, as people on Twitter do. Arizona down 14-2. Teams have to play you for a full 40 minutes. This Arizona team might be the toughest team to play for a full 40 that I've ever seen, right? Like, their mentality is so strong. You got Ivan Kharchenkov kind of being that just defensive stopper the whole way through. Brian was bringing up in the chat earlier, and I totally agree. We haven't even mentioned Dwayne Aristode, mostly because, he only plays but 8 minutes in this game. But the defense he was putting in on Milan Momcilovic was really strong as well. Like, overall, Arizona, their mental fortitude is off the charts. And I think that when you combine the tangible on-court stuff with what you see in the intangible mental stuff, this team is going to be as tough of an out in March as they've ever been. Genuinely. I mean, I know that they have this we all have this, PTSD of, being a Sweet 16 and out kind of team and not being able to make a Final Four, and I don't know how long. But this team feels different. I've been trying to tell people all year, this is a great example of just that. A lot of past Arizona teams fold to this Iowa State team tonight, and we're talking about, how do we get cooked by Killian Tor? How do we let Milan go for a career high in threes? Not this year. Not this Arizona Wildcats team, right? I mean, Damon, you genuinely did not even need Braden Burries in this game to win it. It would have been a huge luxury, and it might have made it a little bit easier in the outcome. But 0 for 7 from Burries, 3 points, and we don't know what the deal with that was, but I'm not trying to fry Braden Burries. What I'm trying to say is this Arizona team is so deep, so balanced. It can be an imperfect night, and they can beat you on your best. Right? It's unbelievable what this team is.
It's special. And I think it was blah, 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 blah that put it here in the chat. that said, like they played their game of the season and they just lost to our bench. And it's true. Like it was the Anthony Dell'Orso and the Tobe Awaka show before Jaden Bradley did his typical Mariano Rivera style closing duties, but it was the seniors that were, picking this team up and picking up the slack from, what I perceived as Koa Pete's poor play early on, and really Braden Burry's not getting into the game at really any particular time. So, I mean, it's special what this team is able to accomplish. It doesn't even, you watch a lot of these games, and I feel like we've been saying this all season, but there's times where you're like, man, that wasn't the A game. Like tonight, like that was an incredible basketball game. A lot of players did play their A game, but it's impossible to say Arizona played their best game when Braden Burry's just did what he did out there, right? Like that's not the ceiling for the Arizona Wildcats. And that's crazy to say that this team is like, there's been, very seldom times where you really feel like they have played kind of at their peak level. And that's just how good they are. They have 2 losses and there's room for improvement in many of these games. But, now you're getting into this portion of the season where, you're just, you kind of are what your level is. And this Arizona team is truly one of the elite teams in college basketball. Kevin, you tweeted out a stat that was, Arizona is 4-0 and trailing by 10 plus points. And that was when Arizona got down double digits early in this one. Now 5-0, right? I mean, and that's insanity. Every time that this team, kind of gets kicked in the mouth, they get right back up. And, I made the reference to the Night of the Seven Kingdoms show, if anyone's watching on HBO, of Sir Duncan the Tall getting smacked from every direction out there on the battlefield. And I was like, this is the Iowa State defensive game plan. Someone responded to me and said, yeah, but who wins? Who wins at the end of it? And it's like, Arizona wins. It doesn't matter. This team is too battle tested. And it's as you said, like there's never going to be a time where it feels like it's a harder out in the NCAA tournament to get the Arizona Wildcats than this year. There are times where I think you look at teams, the Princeton year, the Buffalo year. I mean, I know it's easy to say in hindsight with being first round exits, but I thought at the times both those teams mentally soft, didn't have it. This team, the complete opposite of that. This is the most confident from a mentality standpoint I've ever been in an Arizona team since at least the Sean Miller years in 2013, 2014.
Now, Damon, we do have the only Saul Bookman waiting in the wings. Let's get to our guy Saul, help us break down this one. And I know he is the number one Jaden Bradley fan on planet Earth. In fact, I think he discovered Jaden Bradley. He knew Jaden Bradley was a hooper before his dad knew Jaden Bradley was a hooper. But we got Saul after our first break here on the AZ Wildcats pod. Leave a like, stick around, drink your water, rewatch that game winner, and don't go anywhere. Damon, I got to tell the people because it is officially that time of year. College basketball tournament season is here, and with Sling TV, you can get in on the action because check this out. Sling has flexible 1, 3, or 7-day pass options. Yes, that means if you're just interested in one specific round of this upcoming basketball tournament, you got it with our friends over at Sling. Now, that means instant access to live TV for the men's and women's tournament. You can get a day pass starting at just $4.99 for less than the price of 3DMK Super Chat. You can get a 7-day pass to Sling, and Sling is celebrating the chaos that everyone loves around the tournament. They are making it more fun to root for the underdogs this year. If you purchase any pass from Sling and a 12 through 16 seed, make it into round of 16, in either the men or the women's tournament, then your one-day pass is just $1. Get signed up at sling.com/underdog. Live TV your way. Learn more at sling.com/underdog. No purchase required. To learn more and see the full rules, visit sling.com/underdog.
Now, I know it's something that we really don't want to talk about, Kevin, but if you ever need to call an accident or wrongful death attorney, you're going to only want to call this one place. It's the husband and wife law team. They've been serving families in Arizona for years. They love the Valley. Phoenix is their home. It's where they've raised their 8 children. It's where they've set up shop. But guys, you know, God forbid something like this happens to you. You want to have lawyers that you trust. The husband and wife law team are a part of the 1% of state-barred lawyers that specialize in wrongful death and injury lawsuits, and they're the only people to call. Write down this phone number right now. It's 602-783-8841. Again, it's 602-783-8841, or visit their website at the link in our description, because there is no other team that you want to have fighting for you in these troubling times that you might be going through in your life. We all know how serious this stuff can get. You want to have lawyers that you trust, not lawyers that, you feel like they're just trying to make a quick buck off of you. That's not the husband and wife law team. They're here to get you results. They're here to answer your questions, your phone calls 24/7. They will be available to you once, you get them as a part of your team. So if you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them that PHNX sent you.
Now we got our guy Saul Bookman just itching to talk about this game. So let's
Can we
get
hit
Saul.
some super chats first before we get Saul in here? We did get some super chats sent in. I want to show some love to the people here. We got Kevin saying, "Take them Casa Amigo shots, boys. BTFD." And Kevin, I would hate.
I think Damon is retrieving. I think he's saying I would hate to, let the man down and not take a Casamigo. I mean, I'm watching a bartender at work right now, Damon Dog, pouring up a fatty right now for me. And thank you, Damon Dog. And thank you, Kevin Kretzmer, for your $9.99 super chat. Take them Casamigo shots, boys. BTFD. And yes, as Damon says, we can be bought. So here's to the closer, Jaden Bradley, and ADO, and the rest of our wonderful 2025-26 Wildcats.
And our friends at Casamigos.
That goes without saying. Ooh, that is good. That is good. And I'm also hearing, as per our next super chat coming up from my mother, June, that says it's showing that the shirts are all sold out. I am hearing word on the street. Iowa State fans hacked our site and tried to make it incorrect. They tried to make everything wrong. I'm hearing it's fixed. I'm hearing we're all good on that front. And yes, so let's get Saul in here. I think he's trying to send us a message. Let's get Saul in here.
I'm trying to do some damn Morse code, guys. Yeah. So yeah, no, we were alerted to this slight little issue. Let me fix my camera a little bit. We were alerted to a slight little issue, but it has been resolved. I don't know what happened. Some Iowa State farm AI bots got a hold of everything, but it's now been fixed. And as the shirts would say, we run things here. Let's go. Love these shirts.
And we love this Arizona Wildcats basketball team. Saul, I hope you don't mind. We're going to keep running these super chats up real quick. We got a couple more to get through. But welcome to the super chat function, Saul Bookman. Norin, Ball Knower, Rudin, $10 super chat. I hope Burries and Koa were taking notes. The seniors showing that playoff basketball is another level. Confident the rest of the boys can crank it up moving forward. And yeah, I think this is, I said it, that was one of my first tweets I let off when Arizona was down like 14-2. I was like, you know what? Adversity is good for this Arizona team. Like, I'm not worried about them going through a little bit of adversity in the semifinal of their conference tournament, like with the 1 seed already locked up. They need these experiences to get pushed back, and if they come out on top, even better. And yeah, like I said, shirts are back up, so get those. AZ Cats G, $2 super chat, thank you. He says, no PTSD, only BTFD, go Cats. And we appreciate you for your passion for our podcast and our program. And then we have 3DMK, $20 super chat. That deserves an air horn.
My goat.
Shout out to 3DMK, keeping it real in the Discord, the diehard only Discord as well. Get in there with us and 3DMK, who drops genuine statistical knowledge. Like, if Damon and I weren't doing our jobs, diehard would be worth it because of just 3DMK dropping the exclusive stats that 3DMK does in the Discord. Shout out to you, my friend. Best podcast, best basketball team, and the player of the year, JB, showing why he is the clutch badass that he is. Thank you, 3DMK.
3DMK, a great diehard in our membership Discord. And, of course, if you want to become a diehard, you can get hands on one of these neat new T-shirts that we are debuting for free as a part of your sign-up to becoming a diehard. It's a $35 value on those T-shirts, and you get it for absolutely free, like I said. So get any of these Arizona Wildcats T-shirts. These 4, of course, 3 of them, the ones in white, we're debuting today on this podcast. New T-shirts up in the All-City Network locker. So, yeah, become a diehard, get a part of that, get those shirts for free, and get in that membership Discord to learn basketball from the legend himself, 3DMK.
Let's get Saul in on this conversation. Let's talk a little bit of ball with our guy, Saul. Where do you want to take us, Saul? What was your initial reaction to this game? And I know it's Jaden Bradley. So can we just talk about the closer for a little bit?
For a second, but if I told you before the game that Koa Pete would have 4 points, Krivas would have 7, Braden Burries would have 3, you'd have been like, oh yeah, we're definitely losing this game. There's no way we're winning this game. And somehow, some way, they find a way, which has been their theme all season long. And when Jaden Bradley gets Player of the Year, and you have all these people talking about, oh, he didn't even score against Colorado. It's effing Colorado, and it's the end of the season. Who cares? Oh, well, he wasn't even their best player. It's not about the best player. Most valuable player. That's it. Who's the most valuable? Who's the one that you can rely on just about game in and game out that's going to get you a clutch bucket down the stretch? At Houston, when he was struggling all game long, wasn't able to get into a groove. There was tweets out there talking about he's damn near unplayable. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, do you know who Jaden Bradley is? Do you know who he is? Have you not seen him pop the trunk multiple times against other teams in the country? And you want to sit here and disrespect the best point guard in the history of basketball like this? What are we doing here today?
Dude, Caleb Holt exists, bro.
Hey, best point guard in the history of basketball today. That's it. Just today. Okay. And you just felt it. And then he hits that off balance shot to put them up by 3. They poorly close out on what I thought was an injured Damon Lipsey. So props to him. I don't want to disregard him. This was a ball game. Oh my God, what a game. And you just knew. I mean, you just knew if Jaden Bradley could get the shot off, that was buckets. And damn it. What else does he need to do? This is the reason why he's the most valuable player right here. Like, he's as clutch as they get when it comes to Arizona basketball. You have to put him up there now with guys like Salim Stoudemire and company that have come up big in clutch moments. And what he did tonight, he was able to affect the game in multiple ways. It wasn't the prettiest. It never is. I don't know what you guys, some of the haters out there are expecting. Jaden Bradley is not the cleanest basketball player in the world. But damn it, if he doesn't get it done and he doesn't get his teams to rise up, that's just what it is. And what you don't see is how he encourages his teammates from start to finish every single game. That's why you see Dell'Orso be able to do what he's doing, because Tommy and Jaden have instilled the confidence in the guys, even when they're down, to be able to rise up to the challenge when they're needed the most. And it's damn uncanny that it's like the team can feel when somebody else is off and they themselves need to rise up. And that's what they did tonight, and they continue to do it. I mean, geez. What a team. What a team.
Saul Bookman, when you were, circa 20 years ago in Rochester, New York, and you discovered Jaden Bradley for the first time as a wee lad, did you envision him hitting these shots in these moments for Arizona basketball?
I actually introduced his mom and dad to each other, so there you go.
Matchmaker and ball knower Saul Bookman.
I knew that one day that would pay off.
Hey, y'all look like you could create a wonderful point guard.
Yeah, I think there's a future here from whatever offspring you guys have, just so you know. No, I didn't know what to expect with Jaden Bradley off the jump. I had no idea what to expect when he came from Alabama. And I would say, like, that Clemson game for me just made me a big fan of him. And I've said that multiple times. I just felt like he had that it factor, and he wasn't afraid of the big moment. And tonight was just another example of that. So I can't get over this. Like, Iowa State shouldn't have lost this game. We spotted them 12 and they still gave it back. And then they have an all-time rip running performance by Momcilovic that you're just like, dude's hitting half-court shots, for crying out loud. Buckets. Also, by the way, they started that clock a little late. That shouldn't have counted.
They did.
Dude, Damon pulled out the Zapruder film at halftime. He was like, Kevin, look at this.
I'm going
slowing
frame
it down
by frame. I think I counted 12 frames, Saul, that they didn't start the clock for. So I think that's 1.2 seconds, which he got it off at 1.1. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. So, but I said 10 threes would probably win it for Iowa State. They got 14, and it still wasn't enough. Jesus, what a game! Even though Arizona won, I certainly felt like with Momcilovic hitting those threes and both teams just hitting bucket after bucket after bucket down the stretch. I wasn't resigned to losing, but I definitely can always appreciate losing a game like that, because that was high-level basketball no matter what. And I loved every bit of that game. It wasn't easy, but it never is when you're playing elite teams. And and Iowa State is an elite team.
Iowa State has been an elite team all year, and we talked about it earlier, right, between Milan Momcilovic, Damon Lipsey, and Joshua Jefferson. If they're all playing at their best, you have 3 All-American quality guys on your roster. Saul, last time out against Arizona, the Wildcats were able to neutralize both Jefferson and Momcilovic. My question to you is, what did you see with Joshua Jefferson in this matchup? Because he is a very interesting player to me, the versatility to his game. And for him to get shut down against Arizona the way he did in the first matchup, I was like, oh, that's really something to notice and look into a possible Big 12 tournament matchup. Tonight, he pretty much played his usual game, maybe outside of the rebounding and assist totals. What'd you see with that kind of, I'll say, wing battle?
Yeah, I don't think that they threw the variety of matchups at Joshua Jefferson. Justin Jefferson. I got Kyler on the brain. Joshua Jefferson, the way they did in the first game, I think maybe they were a little complacent in terms of his productivity, and I also think that they thought that Koa could have more of an impact against Joshua Jefferson than he did. This was a very clear definition of senior versus freshman, and Joshua Jefferson knows how to get his off, and he did, and he took advantage of Koa multiple times down low in the paint, and Koa will learn from this. He'll learn from this, and he's going to have to quickly, because I would wager to say that Ivan Kharchenkov did a much better job against Joshua Jefferson than Koa Pete did by a mile. He was a nuisance, and you got to be a nuisance. The unpredictability of the defense or the unpredictability of the defender guarding him, one of those two has to exist. And I think he was getting neither when he was matched up against Koa Pete and the defense that Arizona was trying to play. When they opted to have Ivan Kharchenkov kind of start off on him a couple times, that's when the hands start to get in the passing lanes, start to knock the ball away a little bit, start to make it a little bit more uncomfortable. You start to lose track of where the other defenders are because Ivan's doing such a great job. Kind of threw Joshua Jefferson off his game, and he wasn't as big a factor down the stretch, especially in the second half. First half, he was lights out. But that's what I saw there. And then Momcilovic, listen, sometimes arenas just don't fit your eye. And I think that's really what what it looked like for him and Mikhail. It's just, maybe the darker environment, maybe the crowd atmosphere, you're not getting as juiced up, because Iowa State definitely plays better at home than they do on the road. And that was a largely home crowd versus Arizona tonight. And you can see the lift that they had. I'm really curious to see how Iowa State fares on the road in these neutral site games away from home, how many fans they can get out there. It depends on where they're going to be positioned. I would assume that their positioning should be pretty good in the Midwest. Because they've got to play at a high level if they want to get to the Final Four. It feels like more things have to go right for Iowa State than do for Arizona in order for them to get to the Final Four. Arizona could have, one or two guys be off and still rise up and overcome, as we saw tonight.
Saul, you touched on something there that I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into. We don't got to spend too much time on it because the man played just 8 minutes. But as you know, I am a hashtag trademark Aristodian. Everyone stand up, Aristodians. But he only played 8 minutes tonight. However, me, Brian Edwards as well, some people in the chat, felt like his defense was impeccable and very necessary tonight, especially when you have Momcilovic going as nuclear as he was. Did you see anything at all from Dwayne Aristode in his short stint tonight?
I think he played good defense. However, again, when you have crafty veterans like Lipsey and Jefferson, and we saw it the very first time Damon Lipsey got matched up on Aristode, took it to the bucket, drew the foul immediately. 2 shots. Why? Because Aristode got a little sloppy with his technique and his hands dropped to his side. And when your hands drop and you draw contact as an offensive player, you're almost going to get that call 100% of the time, especially when you're a senior like Damon Lipsey. He's too smart for that. But what you saw other defenders do when Damon Lipsey was driving, hands up immediately. So you could tell that, no, my body positioning is impeccable, and my hands had nothing to do with him flopping. That's why you saw a couple times when Damon Lipsey took it to the basket and he got his shit knocked to last week. It's because the hands were up, perfect defense. Can't call it on me because he's the one that initiated the contact. No whistle, keep going. And that's why I think Aristode, Tommy knew he couldn't take too much of a gamble with Aristode in this game tonight because it was going to be a close game. So I think that's the reason why he only got 8 minutes. I would have liked to see him get a little bit more run in the first half because nobody was really cooking in the first half. But, it is what it is.
I want to move on and talk about another player that kind of stole the show tonight, and that's Anthony Dell'Orso, a senior who, put up his best performance at Arizona, ended up with, 26 points? I believe 23 was that previous season high, and he ends up, finishing with 26 there. Unbelievable performance. Nails out of that guy when you needed it most, especially, factor in, when it's 14-2, he's hitting that shot to make it 14-5 to get it back to a 9-point game. From moment one, it felt like he was keeping this team afloat. And he was, in my opinion, the real reason that Arizona kind of took hold of the game in the second half and was playing with the lead. So, Saul, what did you see out of our Australian king in this one?
Just sniper level now. Like you can't leave Delhi open. Delhi was as good as Momcilovic tonight. It's just the fact that Delhi's not getting double screens called for him, stagger screens called for him on the perimeter. Momcilovic had like 89,000 screens called for him, like damn Reggie Miller in the 95 freaking Eastern Conference Finals, for crying out loud. And still, despite that, Delhi just finding his key. Dude, 2 of those threes, especially I want to say the last one where Iowa State had cut it to 2. He hits it right before the timeout on the sideline, 2 guys in his face, buckets.
Yep.
Just marbles. Onions. Let's go. And you could see that coming on, especially with the BYU Houston stretch. Then it kind of fell off a little bit the last couple of weeks when the other guys got cooking. But I'm telling you, last year against Duke, it's Duke. They had already lost to him once at McHale. You're up against it. And early in that game, Delhi, 2 threes to start the game. Could tell like he was not rattled by Duke. He could give 2 Fs about them. He was ready to go. The moment is not bigger for Delhi. He's ready for these opportunities. Tonight was another example of that. He knew he needed to be locked and loaded and he needed to hit. And he came through in such a big way. His footwork and his technique are on point right now. His release and his arm extension on point right now. He is in a good groove. Continue to feed my guy because the only thing stopping him is those Australian Gators, man. There ain't nothing here that's going to stop him in America. I tell you that.
He's the crocodile hunter. So I think he's got that covered as well. But Kevin and I want to know what dairy farmer he was beefing with in the front row of the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, because he's hitting those threes on that left side, and he's turning around and jawing at somebody. And any inkling as to what he potentially could be saying? That goes for both Kevin and Saul.
I don't know. Maybe it was Cyclone Larry. I don't know. As he drives back to his truck stop.
Yo, maybe it was Travis Clones. Travis Clones was on one. Maybe Travis Clones is on one from what I hear. So I hope, Godspeed, our friend out there, Clones.
I don't know if you guys saw Cyclone Larry's tweet. I want to give him some love, even though he's a big Jaden Bradley hater. He said, next time we're in a 1-possession game against Arizona with less than 10 seconds left, I'm killing myself. He's like, fool me 1 time, shame on you. Fool me 2 times, shame on me. Can't fool me a 3rd time because I'll be effing dead.
Oh, my God.
Bro,
hilarious.
That's what Jaden Bradley is doing to people.
Listen,
the Jaden Bradley effect.
You got to have fun with this. And that's the thing that I do want to go back to. Like, it wasn't looking great in the first half. But, like, you knew they were going to come back. At least I hope you all knew. Like, you can't lose that much faith that quickly. Not with this team. They've shown you that they can come back. They've come back against Florida. They've come back against other good teams. They've proven that they've got what it takes in that championship DNA. And tonight was no different, man. Just a phenomenal performance by both teams.
To wrap up this Delhi conversation, I will say hit the like. I want at least 120 likes before we get out of here. We got 200 plus live people. Tell a friend to tune into the AZ Wildcats podcast, post-game pod. We're breaking it down. But I want to show some more love to Anthony Dell'Orso for just one moment, because we've done that a couple times this season. But for a legacy game like tonight, like the mental fortitude of that guy to stick with it, stick with his shot, keep hooping, stay within himself, just do what he's out there to do, continue to try to get better. It's genuinely inspirational. The way he went out there last year and, quite frankly, was a defensive cone, if we're going to keep it a buck, right? He was getting run through out there on defense. It's just what it was. He gets off the court against Duke, goes to the strength and conditioning team and goes, I have to get better. I have to get stronger. Help me help the team.
And also, do you have any beard growth pills potentially that a brother could take as well?
Hey,
And then,
whoa. Yeah, listen, I'm a little shy on the side too, baby.
Listen.
I got a little routine I can hit you
know,
up
man.
with.
I'm like you guys got it nice and fresh, man. I wish I could grow it in like you, but some of us are a little side haired deficient. You know what I mean?
But no,
Hit up Deli. He's got a routine somehow.
in all seriousness, though, like the dude got in the gym, said, I'm going to get better, like help this team. I'm going to stick with it, not hit the portal and go to the Pac-12 or go play in the Big Ten or whatever. Like he's sticking with the grind, and for the grind to pay off for him like this, man, you love to see it. And I feel like no one on the team deserved a game like this more than Anthony Dell'Orso, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it was an incredible night for him.
The confidence that Tommy showed in Delhi last year lent itself to him not hitting the portal and going somewhere else to get some more minutes. He knew that if he stayed and he put in the work, hell, if he was playing as a defensive cone last year, he sure as hell is going to get some minutes this year, even though they have a deeply loaded roster. He put in the work. You could see it physically immediately. As soon as you saw him on media day, you're like, oh, whoa, my guy yoked up a little bit. Like the quads are a little bigger. His legs don't look like pencils anymore. He doesn't look like he's a cone. He's like built himself into a barricade now. Like, okay, good, But then you wondered, how is that going to affect his mobility, his athleticism, and his shot making? And I think it took a little bit for him to find a good groove in the season to feel comfortable. And I think, again, good teams find it when they need it the most. And as we're heading down the stretch, Dilly's finding it. Braden Burries, 3 points tonight. Jaden Bradley, 0 points against Colorado. Like, everybody has hit a funk during this season. But I say funk, yet they're still finding ways to win because everybody does the intangibles when they're a little bit off in their game when it comes to scoring. If they contribute in different ways. Delhi not only doing a very good job offensively shooting, but also defensively sound, being that additional ball handler to help out. You need that out there on that court right now. Passing, keeping the offensive flow going, just like everything contributing to it. And then I also want to say this, and this is away from Delhi. Braden Burries was not scoring tonight. He was struggling. The three-point shot was crazy off. But you saw him every single time Delhi hit a three. Who was the first one coming off the bench going crazy, talking about feed my guy? Like, yes, that's what this team is all about. I love it. Delhi deserved every single bit of it. Shout out to his people, Sammy Waz. That's his agent. Like, I know that they're giddy from ear to ear, watching Delhi perform tonight the way they did. And, pretty special. I
mean, of course, the agent's happy. He looking with green contact lenses through this game. I mean, Anthony Dell'Orso was shooting into the ocean. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, man, if we can bottle this up, we might be able to get some real bags.
He might be giving Tucson's own Bryce Cotton a run for his money in the NBL next season in Australia, man.
But Saul, we do have more we want to break down with you about this game, but I do want to hit our second and final ad break here on the AZ Wildcats pod. That's right after this ad-free listening the whole way through. So stick around, leave a like, and do not go anywhere. I got to tell you about our friends over at Window Depot, because Window Depot, just like the Arizona Wildcats, are more than just a basketball team. They are an inspiration. Window Depot is more than just a window store. I'm talking everything from doors to windows, to skylights, to cabinets, to countertops, to sinks, and yes, introducing flooring just for the Tucson market as of right now. It's coming to Phoenix up here in the valley pretty soon. But if you're down there in Tucson, hit up the Window Depot if you need some new flooring. I mean, hey, the Big 12, they could have used Window Depot's new flooring for certain for this Big 12 tournament. So that is why people love the Window Depot, because even the Big 12 could have called them up on short notice and they would have had the quantity and the quality ready, because contractors and homeowners love the Window Depot. Shop online, pick up in store, browse and order directly at thewindow.depot.com. Visit Window Depot thewindowdepot.com, and get started on your next project today. Stop in or give them a call. Their team will get you exactly what you need. They got 7 Arizona locations, so pick your poison with the Window Depot. They got it all in quality. Check them out. More than just a window store.
Rumor has it that was exactly who Brett Yormark called when he needed that hardwood floor put in for these semifinal and championship games. Shout out the Window Depot and shout out our friends at Circle K who are helping you try to save money in a time where we all know that saving money on gas in particular is of the utmost priority. Guys, if you're not an Inner Circle Rewards member yet, now is the perfect time to sign up because it's like you're getting gas for what it was priced about, 2-3 weeks ago. 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups when you become an Inner Circle Rewards member by downloading the new free app. It's so simple to download and sign up. You just got to plug in an email and a password and you're done. Then when you plug in your phone number at the pump, the savings are right in front of you. You'll save 3 cents off per gallon every time you fill up after that until you hit premium status and you save 5 cents off per gallon. They also have all types of Inner Circle Rewards member fuel days that you have to be on the lookout for. Unfortunately, the last one passed 2 days ago. I went and gassed up my truck. It was not pretty, but thanks to our friends at Circle K, it was a whole lot better than what it could have been, saving 40 cents off per gallon. I'll let you know when that next fuel day is going to be. Keep listening to this podcast, and we will let you know and give you a fair, solid warning on that. But there's also all types of Polar Pop deals, snack deals, meal deals, you name it. Inner Circle Rewards members are just saving money left and right all over the place. Join that Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
And welcome back to the one, the only Saul Bookman. What do you got?
Can I don't know if you guys read this stat about the last 4 minutes of the game.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't think we did.
So over the last these are crazy stats that are coming out right now. Over the last 4 minutes of that game, Iowa State and Arizona combined to make 13 of 15 shots, including 7 for 7 from 3. And then on top of that, 11 straight possessions with made baskets to end the game. That's unreal basketball. And now also, by the way, yeah, absolute video game numbers, preposterous. Tommy Lloyd, this is courtesy of John Kurtz, my guy. He said the different feel on the court from the previous couple days led to them overinflating the ball, which I did not know. Which makes it tougher to shoot. But credit to Brett Yormark for having the cojones to take a chance and then make a change when it didn't work. And I think Brett Yormark's getting a lot of grief about a lot of different things. But one thing's for certain, he's a risk taker. I think he's put the Big 12 in a phenomenal position from a monetary standpoint and positioned them to be among the SEC and Big 10 conversation. And the flack that he's getting over this court, hey, it was a dumpster fire. Hey, absolutely. He went back to the vendor, said, hey, this can't happen. You need to fix this. We're taking this out because player safety. Couldn't even imagine something egregious happening to somebody on Iowa State, Arizona. I think we all kind of feel like Texas Tech would have been up against it to get to the Final Four, even before the injuries to Anderson. But if anything would have happened to the 4 that are left, Kansas, Houston, Arizona, Iowa State, it'd have been such a black eye and a really, really, really tragic ending to a season for one of those teams. So I'm glad they made that decision to move. Kudos to that whole squad.
I mean, you bring up those crazy, crazy clutch stats, Saul, of 11 straight made shots and all that. It almost makes it sound like there was no defense being played, but we all know, anybody watched the game, that was elite hoops, and I love college basketball. That is my takeaway from this game. Am I allowed to say that? I don't have anything Arizona related. I just love college basketball.
Sue me.
Yeah, sue me. I'm a guy that loves some CBB.
I'm sorry. You guys know that I used to do Suns Pod with Espo and them guys. And the state of the NBA, the way it is right now, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. The foul baiting, the 3-point, barrage basically with limited inside games. Like it just doesn't, it's not fun basketball to watch. It just isn't until you get to like the last 2 minutes of the game where they let you like play a little bit more physical. College basketball to me is elite. It's better than the NBA. It's not a higher level of basketball in terms of talent, but you actually have far more strategy that goes into college basketball because of the various ways that you can play it. You could be a full court press team. You could be a half court. You could be zone, matchup, whatever. And the inside game matters just as much as the outside game in college basketball, as we're seeing by one of the best teams in the country in Arizona who try to dominate the paint and take your soul. Oh, and by the way, they found a way to win it from the perimeter tonight just the same. Like, that's elite level basketball. So when you watch Iowa State versus Arizona and you can appreciate the physicality, I mean, guys, if you've never watched these two teams play in person, I can't explain it to you. Watching Iowa State, Arizona in the first 5 minutes in McHale, I felt like I was watching a football game, for crying out loud. Like, it was brutal. It was so physical. And it was no different tonight because they let these guys play, and they don't call these ticky-tacks. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. And it's just elite. Fundamentals matter. Fundamentals matter in this game. And if the smallest thing can send you home, and tonight, I think that was evidence of that.
Perfect segue, Saul, because what sent Iowa State home? Jaden Bradley. We have Jaden Bradley talking about his game-winning shot. Listen to Smooth.
I just went with the flow. It was a crazy shot. It was great defense. Just had it going. Iowa State's a tough defensive team. So if you call a timeout, they probably get their defense set. So it was just a crazy shot, but it was a great defense for sure.
It was a
crazy shot. Great defense. And now we've seen across college basketball a couple times that during these conference tournaments, like teams not taking timeouts in the end of games, and it end up costing them because maybe you should have reset. Jaden Bradley offers kind of the other side of that coin there with his answer of like, look, if you're playing a team as elite defensively as Iowa State, you give them a chance to sit down in a stance and know exactly what they're going to do. You're working an uphill battle. So I love that answer from Jaden Bradley. And you know with JB, you're going to get nothing but respect. And him coming out there saying, I hit a great shot, but that was great defense. I love that from Jaden Bradley. Saul, any more thoughts on that shot, but also that answer?
I mean, great answer. Arizona had struggled inbounding the ball in the first place, so I'm glad that they didn't call a timeout to let Iowa State, set up something, because they definitely would have trapped Jaden Bradley. They would not have let him get the shot off, but because everything was kind of helter-skelter right there, I love it. You trust your captain. He's the coach out there on the floor. Let him work. Like, this is what he does. So it was really easy. Also, I'm about to be disrespectful for a hot second.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Killian Torrey played phenomenal defense. But he had no business keeping Iowa State in this game tonight.
No.
What is Kickball Hero doing? Hitting threes, hitting step back jumpers like he's been doing this all season. Like, I think that was the one frustrating part of this game. I was like, who is this dude? No. Why is he hitting these shots like he's Kobe? Stop. I did not like that part of this game at all. But hey, props to him. He's a tough defender. He's a tough defender. He's a nuisance. And I just know Jaden was just like, oh, man, that felt so good to hit that shot over his face. Oh, my gosh. If his team didn't mug him on the floor after that shot, he definitely would have trash talked Torrey after that one.
I was gonna say, Saul, like, Torrey, like, I like Torrey as a player. You point out his defense there. Like, he is an incredible defender, the Frenchman himself. But, like, him to go out with some sort of right shoulder ailment earlier in the game and then to come back and nearly cost you with some unbelievable shot making, I'm like, dude, don't go out like this, man. To the French guy with one arm. Come on, man. We can't go out like this. And this Arizona team's not going to go out like that. But
I was reminded. So back in, oh man, I'm about to take y'all way back. So in like 95, 96 time frame, they used to do this thing called the Hoop It Up and the Fiesta Bowl 3-on-3. I think they still have Hoop It Up, but basically they shut down the whole city of Phoenix. You play a 3-on-3 tournament in your age bracket, whatever. It was really cool. We got to the championship, and it was like 95-mile-per-hour winds. Like, there was no three-point shooting that was going to happen, right? And we're playing against this dude. He was the white version of Torrey. He had the headband, the high socks. I'm like, dude, we're about to wax this team. Tell me why this guy was shooting threes into the wind at an angle for it to come back like it was a slice on the golf course into the hoop. Hit like 4 of them, and we lost. And I was just like, there's no way we should be losing to a team like this. That's how I felt watching Torrey tonight. I was like, there's no reason why this guy should be doing what he's doing.
Me and Damon were talking about this live watching the game here in Studio K. Shout out to Circle K. But we were saying, like, if I was an Iowa State fan, right, we know how good Arizona is. We know how deep Arizona is. But you're telling me we're playing the game of our life and we're getting cooked by Anthony Dell'Orso? That's how I would have felt if I was a Cyclone fan. Because respect to Delly, like, if you're previewing this game, you're like, all right, they got a sniper off the bench. But really, you just got to, like, let him have a couple.
He might hit 2 threes.
Yeah, let him have a couple. Sure. But he's not going to beat us. And then he's out there cooking, screaming at your fans, trash talking, flexing, doing everything. And I would have been hurt. We did make that little comparison to the Killian Torrey to ADO. Kind of, it's not like an apples to apples because ADO is, that's what he does. He's a sniper. But a career best performance maybe not on the bingo card tonight.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can go, Saul.
I wasn't a big fan of him hitting the three and then looking at the bench and getting jacked up. Meanwhile, they're on the other end of the court trying to get a mayup. I'm like, bro, get back on defense.
There was also a time where ADO was talking trash and then, like, tripped on the way back because he wasn't looking where he was going. And I was like, we can't be rolling ankles when we're talking too much trash, guys. Come on. But, Damon, you were saying?
I wanted to transition to talking a little bit more about the freshmen tonight because I think we've talked a lot about Anthony Dell'Orso, Jaden Bradley, the upperclassmen, and it wasn't the greatest of nights for Koa Pete and Braden Burries, but it was a fantastic night for Ivan Kharchenkov, who in the first half in particular was a big part of the reason that Arizona was in the game. He finishes with 17 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. He had 5 assists as well. Always brings it on defense. So I guess let's start with the good. What did you like from one absolute Kharchenkov tonight, Saul?
The 2 threes to start the second half. Like the 9-0 run by Momcilovic, like just it didn't just suck the life out of the arena for me, but it felt like, damn, we did all that and still be down by 6 at the half. Like, this is BS. But Kharchenkov kind of, like, those threes signified, like, we're not going anywhere. We're here for this fight. Let's do it. And I just thought that he, again, you look at body language, he didn't hesitate in any way, shape, or form. There was even a moment in the first half where they called a timeout. I believe they had just taken the lead for the first time. And he's over there, and he's, like, demonstrative about, like, I'm open right here. Make sure you cut here. Telling teammates what to do. Like, that's a freshman stepping up and not afraid of the moment. That's a championship level type of player who has played in a championship level game in tournament before in Europe. So, like, this moment wasn't too big for him. He was ready to go. And I think that's the beauty of this team. Like, Koa Pete had a couple errors here and there. I didn't feel like he was as physical and as aggressive as he should have been. Maybe the moment was too big. I think he'll bounce back tomorrow. I think what I'm reading right now is
passes.
What's that?
Koa had some sweet passes tonight. I will add in, like, he didn't score well. I thought his defense was pretty good, and I thought his facilitation, looked really solid. Like, he's, swooping some passes around down low to bigs and stuff that you like to see.
Yeah, for sure. He's always been a good all-around player. I think first half defensively he was a little weak because Jefferson was just getting the best of him. But second half much better. And he was a little sloppy with the ball. 4 turnovers, you just can't have that. Like, that's too much for one individual. But outside of that, and then Braden Burries, I know I'm kind of looking online right now. They say, he might have been cramping up or something going on with his calf or something like that. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He was out there battling, and it wasn't, he didn't feel his greatest, but he was still out there. He didn't Peterson it and say, I need to come out of the game. Like, he just did what he did, played hard, and then he couldn't go anymore, and that was it. But he was still part of the team, still celebrated his teammates, and that's important too. You need to see that. If you're Tommy Lloyd, you need to see everybody cheering each other on. So the freshmen weren't outstanding tonight outside of Kharchenkov. I think everybody had, a few blemishes. But overall, they did enough. And that's what this team's about. Did they do enough? Yes.
Ultimately, they did do enough, Saul. And now you mentioned Ivan Kharchenkov's, like, overseas experience there. And I feel like watching this kind of a game, it feels like that's the moment when, you're asking him at media day, when me and Damon are talking to him about, like, how are you going to dig into your overseas experience this year, right? We're asking him about long road trips. We're asking him about all this different stuff. What we didn't ask him about was tournament environments, right? Like game on the line, who's going to be most steady heartbeat, no sweat, nothing. It's going to be Ivan Kharchenkov. There's going to be a lot of these dudes, but especially Ivan Kharchenkov because of that overseas experience. Now, Saul, did you have anything in the notebook that you wanted to unleash upon us tonight?
No, I didn't have anything in the notebook tonight.
Jaden Bradley emptied the notebook. First time.
No, I didn't have anything in the notebook because I didn't know if I was going to be on tonight because I wasn't on last night. I didn't really prepare to be that to do that, but I will be for tomorrow, just so we know. Listen, I think at the end of the day, I loved that Arizona was in a gritty game down to the wire with a chance for either team to win the game. And you're going to have you record this, replay it, whatever you want to do, but this is going to happen again. I promise you it's going to happen again, probably in San Jose, if not earlier. Like, they will get tested. If you think Arizona is going to get to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight and not have a game like this to get to the Final Four, you're high, drunk, or stupid. One of those three. Like, it just, there's no other way to say it. It's going to happen. It's going to be they're going to get tested. So be ready, be prepared. And then anything after that, listen, as long as they get to Indianapolis, that's all I care about. I think that's all we all care about. Let's take care of business tomorrow night. Let's win the Big 12 championship, regular season and tournament. Put our stamp on this nice season and this nice conference run. And then it's time to go surfing, baby.
One last thing I want to touch on with you, Saul, and this is something that's getting brought up in the chat as well. Michael Tanis says, who do we want tomorrow, Kansas or Houston? And before you answer, Saul, I'll give you a second to think, because Tommy Lloyd was asked the same question, and here is what Coach Lloyd had to say.
Here's what I'll say, and I'll say this half facetiously and half truth. The gift is we get to play Houston or Kansas at home. What an awesome opportunity. And, and I've been in these situations before where you maybe had a semifinal buzzer beater win. You got to get your emotions in check fast, and you got to move on. You got to take a shower with a smile on your face. But when that shower's done, it's on to the next one. And we got to prepare. We put ourselves in position to win a championship, and you don't get a lot of opportunities to do that over the course of the season. So tomorrow deserves our best effort. And I know our staff and these guys are going to take it seriously. And we know tomorrow's game could be, I'm assuming it's going to be just as tough. And we're going to have to figure it out as we go. But I can't wait for that opportunity.
Now I ask you the same question, Saul. What is your answer?
I don't really care. Houston wants revenge, just like Iowa State wanted revenge. Kansas probably wants a little bit of revenge. I think either game is going to be tough, and it's going to be strong. So, we'll see where it goes. I tend to think that Houston's probably going to get the edge, but now Houston has to face us at full strength. They didn't have to do that the first time around. So let's see where the chips fall. And Koa didn't get a chance to play against Houston the first time around. And we know Kelvin Sampson was after Koa as well in the recruiting trail. So I think it's going to be a great game no matter what. It'll be better than what I'm seeing over in the ACC with Duke just absolutely mollywhopping Clemson up by 20 at the half. No resistance whatsoever from the putrid ACC. It's going to be a good game, and both teams will be ready to go. And honestly, like for Houston specifically, they win that game, they potentially become a 1 seed. So it's bigger for them than it is for us. But I don't think these guys really care. They don't really care. They just want to go out and ball. They want to play hard, and they want to win. So there we go.
They got to play us.
110%. 110%.
It's like I said this before. It's like Michael Jordan when they said, what do you think about the Utah Jazz and the Pacers before they got there? And Jordan's just like, everybody's got to come through Chicago. Yeah, I don't care what they're doing in the other games or the other conferences. They got to come through Chicago. You got to play the Wildcats. If you want to go anywhere, you got to come through. You got to come through Arizona. And here we go.
You absolutely have to go through Tucson. The regular season runs through Tucson, and we will see tomorrow if the tournament runs through Tucson as well. Saul?
I will be down in Tucson on Sunday for the selection show, just so we know. So I don't know if are you guys going to do a show on Sunday?
Yeah, we'll be doing some stuff on Sunday.
We're doing a watch along on Sunday, so everybody can mark their calendars for that. Kevin and I are going to be live reacting to the bracket as it comes out, and then we'll probably do some extra content after we settle that thing all out. But we're going to be live for a watch along.
Well, if you guys are doing a live watch along, I'll see what I can do to try and get somebody on the show to interview as well and get that whole set up. So the whole team's going to be there. And so I'm losing my voice because when I say, dude, I'm so glad I went to shout out Stretch Lab for stretching me out. Literally right before I walked in the door to watch the game, because if they didn't stretch me out, I probably would have pulled something when I jumped off the couch after that bust. So shout out to Stretch Lab for that one. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow night. It was a fun one. Hey, you got to embrace the good times, especially when your guy does the job. Let's go, baby.
Of course. Shout out Jaden Bradley for making Saul Bookman look like a very smart man tonight. Of course, follow Saul at Saul_Bookman on all social media. And Saul, rest that voice up because we might be needing to celebrate a Big 12 championship tomorrow. We need you available.
Let's go, baby. Bear down, guys.
Saul Bookman, he gave everything tonight on this AZ Wildcats post-game show. Shout out my guy. Man, what an absolute win, Kevin, from the Wildcats. Now, not to toot my own horn here, but Brian Edwards put it in the chat. We did some score predictions in our pregame show, Kevin, and I think I kind of clocked this one exactly how it ended up. I was I think I had 78-76, which is obviously not quite 82-80, but I had a 2-point Arizona Wildcats win in what I thought was going to be one of the, if not the single best game of the season, because I was expecting a heavyweight, fight from our friends in Iowa State. I know being that it's in Ames South as I dubbed on the pregame show, but Kevin, apparently ESPN called it that right before
they did.
The game started, and I thought that I came up with something really cool and original, and turns out it's not at all. Someone asked in the chat though, because ultimately the Wildcats win, U of A chants rain down as seemingly always this season. How many Mikhail Norths do we even have at this point? Because it's starting to feel like Kansas City's right there along with it.
Yeah, no, it certainly is starting to feel that way. I mean, this whole country is Wildcat country, Damon. We know this. This is not breaking news. This is Wildcat country, the whole United States. In terms of wrapping this show up, I want to remind everybody to hit the like button. We did hit our goal of 120, so that is wonderful. But I would love to hit 140 before we get out of here.
I was thinking that 120 was light, honestly. To be real,
man.
Kevin,
they were slacking. It took them a while to even get there.
140 is fine, but how about 150?
Look,
I know we only got 180 in here, but I'm sure that some people have cycled in and out. Hit me. Let me see a 150 on the board before we get on out of here. Why not? We need 21 likes, Kevin. That's doable.
Put it on the board, yes. And now, Damon, I did want to talk to you about one thing before we get out of here, and that is our love the play of the game with our friends over at Arizona Lottery.
God. What can you even say?
I mean, shout out to Arizona Lottery, but this might be the shortest love the play of the game segment ever in history because there's only one to pick. Damon?
I think I'm going to go with the Jaden Bradley buzzer beater to send Arizona to the Big 12 championship game. As someone put up here in the chat as well, I'm sitting there on my Twitter account yesterday begging Jaden Bradley to play better. I'm saying I'm arguing for your legacy, Smooth, on the timeline. And now what perfect fodder to have and go play with in my sandbox, Kevin, than Jaden Bradley hitting monumental shots that will be remembered throughout time forever. I will go ahead and say this right now, and you can go ahead and one-shot me for this, Kevin. Take yourself off the screen. Take yourself off the screen.
Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second to cook here, Damon, because I don't know if I was ready for this type of Damon dog rant right now.
It doesn't need to be a crazy rant. I just need to let this take fly, and I need people to hear it and hear me roar. Kevin, let me be clear about something. What Jaden Bradley just did tonight will have more infamy and will be remembered in the minds of college basketball fans, Big 12 fans, Arizona fans, and BYU fans worldwide more than any single shot AJ DeBonsta hits in his entire collegiate basketball career. Now, I'm not talking NBA ball. No one is sitting up here saying Jaden Bradley's a better basketball player than AJ DeBonsta, but he deserved the Big 12 Player of the Year award because of moments like that. no one at BYU will remember AJ for a moment that he had. They will remember the disappointingness that was this 2025-2026 season, the 9-9 record that they had, the scraping by of Kansas State and West Virginia in the conference tournament before losing in the round that Arizona automatically qualified for. This is what will be remembered. Jaden Bradley hitting shots like this. Congratulations. It's been a great season for AJ, but no one will remember a single thing that he did at BYU. And that's all I have to say.
Unbelievable.
Am I wrong?
I mean, vintage Damon.
Am I wrong? I wrong?
No.
I can't think of one moment. Like, he's had, that was a cool dunk that was in the middle of a game when they were playing nobody, and he dunked on a kid that, plays in the SWAC. Like, I'm sitting here trying. There's not a single moment that is in remote comparison to what JB just did. And, I sleep well at night because of it.
Shout out to you. And then shout out to everybody in the chat. We have hit our goal of 150. I want to see 160 before we get out of here. And to our members, if you are a Supporters Club member, for just a cup of coffee, you can get all these fun emojis and burr, 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 burr. What's that? Is that an air horn? Oh my goodness, Damon, I think we have a JB closer emote that just dropped in the chat.
Wow.
So everybody, I'm telling you right now, everybody, go to your chat, navigate over there, maybe refresh the page or whatnot, because the Sims emoji, unfortunately, allegedly, from what I've been told, has been gone. Yes, and we do have the JB closer emoji. I had to refresh my stream, but it's in there. I just dropped it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's special. Who you gonna call, Kevin?
You gonna call Smooth? You're going to call Smooth real quick. If you win the clutch, you had better call Smooth. And now we do have a couple more super chats. My mom with another $2 super chat. Chat is amazing. 150. Thank you for the 150 likes.
You're selling our chat short, Kevin. These people are in it to win it this year. It's March Madness. It's time. And we're all turning it up a notch. Not just me, not just Kevin, not just Saul. It's everybody that's involved. We're turning it up a notch for this March Madness and for postseason play.
I'm looking at the chat, and I'm seeing nothing but Jaden Bradley calling up. And this is beautiful. Please keep that going. AZ Brick 22, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. The love for this squad is immense in front of a home court Iowa State crowd too. BTFD, so excited for March. That's the Big 12 player of the year for the people in the back. Shout out to you, AZ Brick. That one had some passion. You get an air horn.
I love it. One thing I don't love, though, it seems like we have this JB emoji, but it seems like Shane Diefenbach might have filtered out our Sims emoji in the process to make way for the JB emoji, and that hurts my soul personally. It was
me, by the way.
It feels like an excuse. No, you know what, Kevin? I don't want your hand up. I want to blame a Sun Devil on this matter and say it feels like an excuse. It feels like we're trying to take away the Sims emoji from the people that love it and cherish it the most.
I just didn't want to take away like Suns emojis because they got a whole season they're doing over there. Like, Cardinals chat, there's some psychos. The last thing I want to do is make a Johnny Venerable fan mad. You know what I mean? That's the least I want to do.
Well, chat, remember who took away your toys? This guy.
I gave you the closer. Can we not do that to me? I gave them the close. Can we not make me the enemy here? I don't know what's going on.
This is the perfect time to become a supporting club member, though, if you haven't done so already. Get in the chat, get involved, get these closer emojis going, and get some extra content on the side. I know that if you're a D-backs fan, which I know some of you guys double up here in the chat, me and Derek Montilla and our social media manager, Emma, are going to go head down to Chase Field to check out all the new items that Chase Field has to offer from a food and beverage standpoint. And we're going to put that up as members-only content. Just a little bit of a dose of what you can get if you sign up to become a supporting club member. Nothing like out of this world, nothing that's going to knock your socks off that you can't live without. But if you love what we have going on here, you want to support us a little bit extra, it's just a fun $5 a month threshold that you could reach there. But Kevin, we also got to talk a little bit about these T-shirts that we have dropping. I just ordered mine live on set. Wow. I know that's not exactly what I'm supposed to be doing while we're live talking and doing a podcast, but I had to order that shirt on the top left there. The pod shirt, man. It's our pod logo.
It is.
It's got a basketball alternate get up on. It's got the headband, Aristodian style, Kevin.
Wow.
Bear down in the background. I mean, it's a special piece of merchandise there. And, of course, you have the We Run things with the state outline. You got the Embrace the Chaos for March Madness 2026 run. It's going to be so much fun. Get in on these shirts now. $35. Become a diehard. You can get them a part of your diehard offer. Just great stuff, man.
Love
I actually
these
say
shirts.
that, and on the website it says you can't get it as part of your diehard offer, so I don't want to make anyone sign up to be a diehard and then they can't get that shirt. I will see what's going on with that, and maybe tomorrow we can get it that as not part of it, or maybe it's a thing about it being a new drop or something, but we'll figure that out.
We will figure that out. And Damon, thank you to everybody in the chat. I did want to mention one more thing. People in the chat were asking about Braden Burries. It seems like it was a cramping thing. He had a heating pad on his leg at halftime. I think he's fine. Nothing from what I've seen that indicates otherwise. He should be good to go for tomorrow. Damon, you got any more thoughts on tonight's game? I know we have Kansas-Houston coming up tomorrow, and we'll do pregame, postgame for that, and watch along as well.
Yeah, of course. Kansas versus Houston is at halftime right now. Houston is up 33-25, and it would make sense that Houston ends up being the team that Arizona plays. It feels like a collision course. Now that Arizona and Houston are in the Big 12, these are your new daddies of the conference. I apologize to all the Big 12 fans that maybe have been here for a while. Maybe Kansas City is what they call home. Kansas and Iowa State fans in particular. I'm talking to you. These Houston and Arizona have taken your chain. These are the two top dogs. And Tommy Lloyd versus Kelvin Sampson in the championship. That's cinema. That's exactly what we signed up for. Retribution for last year's Big 12 championship loss, if I do say so myself, Kevin. Cannot wait for it. Kevin and Damon live tomorrow for pregame, watch along, and postgame coverage of the Big 12 championship game. So come watch along with us. Of course, we got pregame and postgame coverage as we always do on this PHNX Sports channel. And also, Kevin, how about the softball team going belt to ass on number 2 Texas Tech, running them off the diamond tonight. We got a run rule victory over the number 2 team in the country, and Arizona softball might in fact be back. What a day to be a damn Wildcat.
Unbelievable. I think Lost Highway said tie baseball game, top of the 9th, UA, 3-run home run. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing right now.
Could you imagine being an ASU fan right now, hanging your hat on Molly Miller, who's not going to make the actual NCAA tournament, and one singular win that you pulled off against Arizona baseball that is having a down year after a College World Series appearance last season and back-to-back tournament championships? I mean, what a sad existence that must be. All we do is just spawn national relevancy, Kevin. The best basketball program currently going in this great country of ours. Of course, baseball, like I said, took a step back, but it is what it is. Football owned ASU this year and, of course, has a higher win total than ASU going into next year as well, if you haven't kept up with the PHNX Sun Devils coverage of today. Just so much great stuff going on. But, hey, at least we have a women's basketball team that isn't going to even make a tournament and a baseball team that has proven nothing but other than they can beat a team when they're down.
100%, and Lost Highway clarifies is now tied 6-6. We were down 6-3 and just tied it up with a 3-run shot in the 9th. It is 1 out, it looks like, 3-2 count. So Arizona at bat. So tap in with that. I'm sure it's on ESPN Plus or something. But Damon, we will be live a long time tomorrow. You will get our fill of these two guys tomorrow. And we're going to break everything down for you. But it's been a wonderful postgame show. It really has. Drop your closer emojis. Become a Supporters Club member so you can get access to the closer emoji. Shout out to JB Smooth, man.
Yeah, get your hands on one of those new T-shirts as well. We love you guys. Thank you so much. It's been a banner night of coverage, and why wouldn't it be after such a special instant classic type of game between Arizona and Iowa State? A meeting that apparently just, breeds game winners from the Arizona Wildcats. And I know that you could sign Kevin and me and, of course, the rest of the people in this chat up for many, many more of those type of performances. Appreciate everybody for being here in this chat. We love you guys so much. Drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We do this thing, pregame and postgame shows for every Arizona basketball game, and we're going to be ticking up the watch-alongs from now until the season's end. So love you guys. Thank you so much. Chat was so popping tonight. Of course, follow my guy Kevin at KevoPost. Follow me at Damon Dog. Follow us at PHNX_Wildcats on all socials, except for TikTok, where we are at AZ Wildcats Pod. And we will catch you with tomorrow's coverage on a Saturday, pregame coverage starting 30 minutes prior to the opening tip of Arizona versus Houston or Kansas, whoever it may be, on this very same channel. For Damon, for Kevin, for Saul, for everyone here at PHNX Sports, we love you guys. Peace out. Bear down.
And go Cats. Oh, are you in the clutch? Oh, man, you had better call Smooth.
We all silly like the mayor.